Give the call to Member for Dawson.
My question is to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy. In the last 3 months, power prices for irrigated cane growers in the Burdekin have escalated 126%. That amounts to $105 per hectare per month. Why are the North Queensland cane growers having to pay for Labor's broken promise to lower electricity prices by $275?
Give the call to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the honourable gentleman for his question. And the member refers to events over the last 12 months. A few things have happened over the last 12 months, particularly this year when Russia invaded Ukraine, Mr Speaker. That particularly happened. I'm sure that the former Minister for Defence is right across all the details about when and how that happened, Mr Speaker. Another thing that's happened is the impact of that, and we see thermal coal today trading at $534 a tonne, Mr Speaker, compared to $286 a tonne last December. So, of course, these things are going to have it.
The member for Dawson will need to state clearly his point of order.
Point of order. I clearly said 3 months, and straight away we're going into 12 months.
Resume your seat. That is not a point. That is not a point of order. That is not a point of order. Resume your seat. If you do that again, you won't be here much longer. I give the call to the Minister for Climate Change and Energy.
So, Mr Speaker, the government's approach is twofold. Firstly, in the short term, senior ministers are working very closely together to ensure that the impacts of the Russian invasion do not flow through to industries and businesses without government response and protection. Mr Speaker, that's how this side of the House works it through, carefully and methodically. And we also continue with our medium-term plans to ensure that the cheapest form of energy, renewable energy, becomes a greater part of our grid, Mr Speaker. And nowhere benefits more from that program than the regions of Australia, including North Queensland, Mr Speaker, because the regions will power a renewable Australia, Mr Speaker. They'll create hundreds of thousands of jobs and lower power prices across Australia because we believe in investing in the regions. Now, we know the opposition has a different view, Mr Speaker. We had a ministerial statement this morning. The Shadow Minister responded to me, and he talked about low-cost nuclear energy, Mr Speaker. That's their low-cost nuclear energy was their plan. We had their seminar last week, their uneconomic atomic frolic, Mr Speaker, that they had last week, promoting nuclear energy. We know that AEMO and the CSIRO say that nuclear energy, small modular reactors, will cost thousands of dollars a kilowatt.
The Leader of the Nationals will cease objecting.
With 80 reactors, which is what they need, $400 billion, or 17% of GDP, Mr Speaker, which is 30 times more than the government spent last year on transport and communications, Mr Speaker, and over 10 times more what we spent on defence. But it's okay. The opposition has a plan, because the member for Fairfax has announced that the CSIRO is wrong, Mr Speaker. That's their plan. He's going to wander down to the CSIRO head office and say, sorry, scientists, economists, you are incorrect, Mr Speaker. That's their plan. They're going to assume nuclear becomes real quick, because the member for Fairfax is an economics denier when it comes to nuclear energy.